Hey guys, it's me, Jared, and I am back with another episode of Perfect Rhapsody. This week we are doing verses, which means we're gonna take two things and we're gonna compare them. It just seemed like something interesting to do. Since it is verses week and I really enjoy doing some designing, graphic design, digital imaging, all that stuff, illustration, I thought what better way than to compare two fonts. Many of you may know that these fonts are not the prettiest, and they are deemed unnatural in the graphic design world. I picked Comic Sans, and I picked Papyrus. I don't know if any of you even use these fonts, but personally I use them. Okay, I don't use them now. No. But I've used them before, and it's kind of embarrassing when you go back and you're like, oh, I used Comic Sans in my 4th grade presentation about soil. Okay, let's get down to business. Comic Sans. Comic Sans looks like this, and it is... Hold on, I'm gonna look it up so I can get a clearer image of it. Comic Sans MS. It is so ugly, I tell you. 7 reasons not to use Comic Sans. So I looked up this photo and it says 7 reasons not to use Comic Sans. See that? See, so you kind of like understand what Comic Sans looks like. I feel like most of you have seen it before. You just don't really know. Oh, I look yellow now. Comic Sans, it's appropriate to use never. Don't use it. When you look at it from a designer's perspective, it is just the most crappiest font ever. My instructor, when I was in high school, she, if you ever used Comic Sans in her class, she would fail you instantly. And I guess it kind of influenced me not to like it, but it's still like, Comic Sans, like, I don't know, like, it's not something that you'd pick now, or like I'd pick now when I'm 19. It's not something I'd go scroll down Microsoft Word and be like, highlight word art Comic Sans or something. I mean, word art is a whole nother story that is just, you do not, like, if you even touch word art still, then I'm sorry for you. So the second font that I picked to verse, I don't know, is Papyrus. And Papyrus kind of looks like this. Now I know we all used Papyrus before, and I know no one is like immune or innocent of using Papyrus, because I know we all used Papyrus before. It is one of those fonts that you pick, and when you're like young, you're like, wow, Papyrus. Papyrus is not okay. Okay, I used it in 7th grade maybe, or like 8th grade. Okay, that's getting a little too personal. I should not have used it in 8th grade. But when I used it for like poster boards, and I used it for like National History Day projects, and I thought Papyrus was the best font ever. No. Maybe, I always see Papyrus on those craft websites when I'm, not that I look up crafts or anything. I always see it on the crafting websites, and it's like, Papyrus, and I'm just like, no, you should not be using that. They even use it against these contrast backgrounds where it's like black font and like dark blue, like, I don't know, navy blue background, so I'm like, on top of it, Papyrus has like these little etchings in it, like it like looks like it was like written on calligraphy with like a broken brush, and it's even harder to read, so I'm just, Papyrus, no. I don't want to say do not use it. I mean, if you're a teacher and you're teaching like, I don't know, Indian studies of like, I don't know, India. Okay, wait, Papyrus is like Egyptian, isn't it? Forget I said that. But it's just one of those fonts where you're like, it looks cool when you're young, but when you grow up and you understand the design elements and all these principles, it's just like, wow. Not a lot of you will really relate to this video, but I just think it's something that I should cover. Comic Sans versus Papyrus, and it's just nothing you should touch, and you should never use it. Yeah, I know they're default, and I know they're the like prized default fonts on Microsoft Word, but come on. The moral of the story is, don't use Comic Sans, don't use Papyrus, ever. In anything, poster board, PowerPoint, anything, don't use it, and you'll be safe, okay? So